OnSong works with a number of foot pedals, and we've just recently added support for the Boss FS-1-WL. The Boss FS-1-WL is a wireless Bluetooth pedal that features 3 foot switches. It's a real simple design. Let's take a look at the back. Here you can see we have a power switch, power that we can plug into a guitar pedal board, 2 external connectors for control 1, 2, and an expression pedal, a port for MIDI out, a USB port where we can connect this via a USB cord, and then 2 pairing buttons over here on the right. To get started, we need to turn it on, but this power button can be used in 2 different ways. If we go to the right, we can enter HID mode, or human interface device, and if we go to the left, we can use it as a Bluetooth MIDI device. Let me switch to HID first. Soon after doing this, we'll want to put it into pairing mode. You have 2 options: instrument, which can attach it to different amps and instruments, or smartphone PC. So we're going to press that button. Now let's take a look on our iPad. I'm going to open my settings screen, and down under other devices, we'll see FS-1-WL. I'm going to tap on that to pair. There, now my foot pedal is paired. Now I can go into OnSong. To use the Boss FS-1-WL, I can tap on my foot pedal icon in the menu bar. From here you can see we have a number of different pedals that OnSong works with, but we can go quickly to the Boss pedal by tapping in the title bar and then choosing it from the list. Now when I press the physical foot switch on the Boss FS-1-WL, menus will pop up where I can configure different actions. Here you can see I have my leftmost pedal configured to scroll down, and my middle button configured to scroll up. My rightmost button is then configured for nothing right now. So once we have that configured, I can close my foot pedal screen, and then when I tap on my leftmost pedal, it scrolls down. When I tap the middle pedal, it scrolls back up. As you can see, the Boss FS-1-WL works just like other Bluetooth foot pedals that OnSong can use. But the Boss FS-1-WL has a couple other tricks up its sleeve. Sure, it can be used as a simple foot pedal, but let's take a look at its MIDI capabilities. Here you can see on the back there's 2 other buttons. One is control 1, 2, which means we can use it with additional foot switches from Boss or other manufacturers. And we have the ability to use an expression pedal. Let's plug in an expression pedal and take a look. Here I have an expression pedal that we can use to provide variable information into OnSong for controlling things, not just on and off, but from 0 to 100%. So I'm going to plug that into the back of my Boss foot switch, like this. In order to use the Boss with an expression pedal, we have to enter MIDI Bluetooth mode. To do that, we're going to look at the back of our Boss unit and switch it to MIDI Bluetooth over here, all the way to the left. Now, when we go into OnSong, let's take a look. We're going to tap on the gear icon to open the Utilities menu, and then tap on Tools, and then Bluetooth MIDI. As you can see, the FS-1-WL is already connected with Bluetooth MIDI. When you use the Boss FS-1-WL, it acts just like any other MIDI device, which means we can no longer configure it in the foot pedals screen. Instead, we do that through MIDI triggers. To do that, I'm going to tap on the gear icon to open the Utilities menu, and then tap on Editors, and then MIDI. Make sure you're on the Triggers tab. Now, I'm going to press the same foot switches that I had before, and they should appear as MIDI controls in my MIDI Triggers list. I can press on all 3 buttons to have them show up in the list. As you can see, they appear as control changes 80, 81, and 82. Now I can assign an action to each of those. For instance, I could set 1 to scroll down, 1 to scroll up, and maybe the 3rd button We're going to come over here and choose User Interface and have it toggle our low light mode. There. Let me close this window. And now when I press these buttons, we'll scroll down and scroll up. Lastly, we can toggle low light mode by pressing the third button. So now that we have MIDI working with the Boss FS-1-WL, let's add in the expression pedal by going back into our MIDI trigger screen. I'm going to tap again into the gear icon, Editors, and MIDI. And now I'm just going to move my expression pedal slightly, and you can see my expression pedal shows up here. The neat thing about expression pedals is they can send values from 0 to 127. That means we can use variable actions with OnSong. Let's take a look at an action that we can use with our expression pedal. Here I'm going to tap, and now I have many more actions to choose from, 220 to be specific. I'm going to go into scroll again, and now I have an adjust option. Adjust means I can scroll my page up and down using my foot. Now when I move the expression pedal, OnSong scrolls down and back up. That might be a little strange to you that you put your foot down to scroll down the page. You can also set some different options for variable actions. Let's take a look. I'm going to go back into my editor's MIDI screen, tap into my expression pedal, and in the lower right corner I have a wrench icon. Let's tap on that and we can set some different parameters. Invert values is what we want to turn on. That means that 0 becomes 100% and 100% becomes 0. Now when I close out of this and move my expression pedal, you can see that when I push all the way down, I'm at the top of my screen, and as I pull back, it scrolls my song to the bottom. One last thing that we didn't really cover yet is the Control 1-2 port on the back of the Boss FS-1-WL. Let's take a look at that one more time. It's a stereo plug that's right here that allows us to connect up to 2 guitar pedals like this. You would need to use a stereo to mono splitter, and you can use 2 foot pedals with that input. That means that with the Boss FS-1-WL, you can use up to 5 switches, 3 on board, 2 external, plus an expression pedal. That's a lot of power for such a small device. I hope this has been helpful, and if you have any questions, please contact us.